Oh, hey there. Thanks for coming by. I was just looking at this book by Lois Lowry called The Giver. It's a modern classic and winner of the Newbery Award for Literary Excellence. Young people really enjoy this book, but so do adults. It might be worth an investment of time to go ahead and begin to read it. Again, thank you for coming by today. I wanted to share with you the reasons why I started this YouTube channel. Uh, there are four reasons at least. And number one, I really want to challenge people of all ages, whether children, teenagers, adults, to begin to read more books, especially the great works of the past. It is very important that we are challenged in our thinking and also that we make advancements in our base of knowledge. And reading good books, especially the great ones of the past, will really help us to accomplish that. Secondly, I really have a concern for children, and I really want to encourage moms and dads and grandparents to read great books to their children. It's a great way to build that relationship between you and your children, you and your grandchildren. The reading of books, children love that, especially at bedtime. And more than that, I think that as that kind of habit is built, that routine of reading wonderful books to children, it can lead the children to love and appreciate good books that they may want to read quite on their own as they get a little bit older. That's one of the great ways to do that. Third, I really want to talk a lot about the great authors and the classic works of the past, the wonderful books that were written 150, 200 years ago. So many of them have been largely forgotten today. Some of them are familiar authors, but many of them have faded in popularity. I really would like to restore some of that. We need to use those kinds of books, read those kinds of books on a regular basis. And then fourth, I want to talk occasionally about some of the issues that I see relating to young people and the education that they get. Reading good books is a huge part of that kind of thing. We want them to become better readers. We want them to have improved reading comprehension, and we want them to develop critical thinking skills, which will carry them forward in life. And all of those things come about as they read good books, both in class as well as on their own. As I think about my own reading past, it goes back to first grade. I was in a reading group and moved up a little bit to a slightly higher group, and we were reading Fun with Dick and Jane and other books like that in the series. But I also caught a vision by going to the library. I would borrow books from the library and take them home with me on a very regular basis. I would also read other types of books. I would read almost anything I could get my hands on. I would read the backs of cereal boxes. I would read McCall's Magazine or the National Enquirer. I would read even the dictionary. I learned a lot by reading the dictionary, and it helped to improve my vocabulary. As I grew a little bit older, say around fourth grade, fifth grade, I began to read other types of books, books of adventure and mystery, even biographies and history books. All of those things had an impact in my life, taught me a great deal, and helped me to become the person that I am today. Reading great books has such a wonderful influence. As I grew even older, junior high, I began to read a lot of science fiction by authors such as Ray Bradbury and Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, and one of my favorites was Jules Verne. I found these books to be inspirational, and I greatly enjoyed everything that I read. Very rarely did I put a book down and say, I'm not interested. I was interested in almost anything, and so these books were really helpful. As I grew even older, the classics by Charles Dickens, Robert Louis Stevenson, Jack London, C.S. Lewis, and more recently J.R.R. Tolkien, and even more recently the works of George MacDonald. All of these books were excellent and really influenced my life and inspired me in many different ways. And so, as an English teacher, one who focuses on grammar and English, along with literature and other skills leading to writing for my students, I desperately want them to read more and more. It's so important for them to read great books. And so we want to do all that we can to build that and to foster that in them. I would say that my life would be very different today if I had not read great books all of my life. I have been inspired, informed, and intellectually strengthened in many, many ways. And I want the same for the students that I have in my classes, my fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade students, about 85 of them as I begin my fourth year of teaching. Those students need to be challenged and motivated, encouraged, inspired to read good books on their own. Yes, we will read them in class, but I'm hoping that they will read quite a bit more on their own. So even in your home, I hope that you will encourage the children that you have in your home, or if you're a grandparent, that you'll talk with them about that important aspect of life. It is so important to be readers. It will help them to be a better student today and a more knowledgeable student and citizen tomorrow. So, please come along with me as we go on this journey of investigating and looking at great literature, wonderful authors of the past, and even some of the contemporary ones that we read today, like Lois Lowry. So come along with me and we'll go on this journey together, here and there. So come and join me if you can. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have a great day.